Let's talk about our relationship to God for a second. When Jesus gets onto the water and is walking towards them as a ghost, and Peter gets out of the boat, do you notice how he doesn't notice that the wind is there anymore? He heard from Jesus and he followed Jesus. When the disciples were constrained to the boat, they heard from Jesus and they followed Jesus. There's this identity that when we hear from Jesus and we follow Jesus, our eyes are focused on Jesus. But the moment our eyes are taken away by any distraction in life, that's when our faith is put into question. And so Peter gets out and walks on the water, and I want you to remember, they said he was so far off that they couldn't make him out. He had to be a ghost. So I want you to imagine someone far off enough that they're walking to you, you can't see who it is, and yet you're terrified. That's how far Jesus was away. And again in this text we hear immediately. And said, Peter started walking on water, beautiful, and then it says, and then he noticed, like he had forgotten entirely that the waves were there. And he began to sink, and he cried out, and he called out. And it said immediately Jesus reached out and grabbed his hand. And this is what taught me one of the most profound things about my relationship with Jesus. When you cry out for Jesus, Jesus covers the distance, not you. Think about that. What did Peter want to do? He wanted to walk in his faith to Jesus, even though Jesus was walking toward him. Jesus always walks towards us. For God sent his only Son into the world. Jesus always walks towards us, saved us on a cross, is continually, I will not leave you orphaned. I'm sending you the Spirit. I'm dying on a cross for you. I'm preparing a room for you. Jesus is always walking towards us. And yet what we want to do is we want to walk back and earn that faith. We want to walk back and earn that grace. And yet the moment Peter cried out, what happened? Jesus was right there. Whatever distance that was, Jesus covered it. The moment we cry out. That to me is faith. That to me is the understanding of our relationship to Jesus. That when we cry out for God, Jesus covers the distance. We don't. It's huge in our life. And to